My name is David Merritt. I'm the CTO, and I helped co-found WatchDuty.
I'm John Mills. I'm the CEO and co-founder of WatchDuty. WatchDuty is a disaster alerting platform for wildfires. Living off the grid in the woods in Northern California, I went through several fires with very little information, and so we built WatchDuty.
We're trying to give people the information that they need to make decisions when they see smoke, when they see fire, when their communities are affected, and everything we do in the product and the service is driven towards that aim.
When the LA fires first started, I remember being in a meeting with one of our donors, and we were trying to pay attention to the meeting, and I told our donor, I was like, this is gonna be a catastrophic fire.
WatchDuty's biggest surge of traffic during the LA fires was a big surprise to us. We were about an 85% cache rate hit, and over 60 or 70% of our traffic was cacheable. That was really the reason that we were able to withstand the spikes that we saw. 100,000 requests a second to Fastly probably resulted in 15, 20,000 requests a second to our backend.
Government sites are not able to keep up, and we need resources. We need 100% uptime, right? As many nines as possible, and we had no outages. We had a degradation at one point, but luckily got Fastly in place.
During those fires, I think it hit about 15x what we'd ever seen before during prior peaks. It was an all hands on deck. We were tackling one problem and identifying the next one and running them in parallel with different engineers, pretty much for 3 days straight. That was the moment we were really, really grateful to have a cache in front of all of our backend services, because it would have definitely taken us down.
Obviously, traffic started to spike on our platform infrastructure, and we were watching, the Palisades starting to burn extremely rapidly. We were doing 10 million monthly active users. We were doing millions of monthly, millions of hourly. It really scales up and down depending on what's going on in the world. When it does fluctuate, it's extraordinarily spiky traffic, and so we have to be ready at all times. And so Fastly is there to help us with that.
Pretty much everyone who had WatchDuty in the LA area all picked up their phones at exactly the same time, which caused close to 100,000 requests a second and millions of requests per minute, which was a little scary. The sites stood up, which was quite the test. Fastly was instrumental for us surviving that spiky traffic.
To have this type of resilient scale, like Fastly is a huge part of our infrastructure. We can't do this without Fastly's CDN and Object Cache and WAF and all the things that we're using. The egress cost alone would have been just an absolute nightmare. I don't know how we would have even stayed up without it.
WatchDuty is leveraging several of the Fastly products. Most importantly, their content delivery network. And for us, the Fast Purge is the absolute difference maker between the products, as well as the next-gen WAF. Fastly lets us focus on what we're really good at, and that's providing actionable disaster information, and allows us to feel secure that we're going to be reliable through those traffic spikes, that when the next major disaster hits, we'll be okay. The end user doesn't care that we use Fastly, they care that we stayed up, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.